informal settlements are classified as informal structures, and in most times you find that they do not actually give us the basic services that we're supposed to get, such as running water, sanitation. Simple things such as waste management is not actually collected in informal settlements. At least the municipality should have a central point where they're able to pick up the waste. But we find that in most South African informal settlements, that's not how it is. And in fact, they are being deprived of their basic waste management rights, and hence why we came up with this Conroad Recycling Hub. Right behind me is our first structure, which is our first recycling hub, which was built here in the Conroad Informal Settlement. It was built in the year 2022. So what we do as YMAD, basically we focus on socio-economic solutions, which also encompass of environmental and conservation, which is infused with arts and culture. So that's what we focus on. The way this initiative actually started, we started with the concept that we go around each community and we appoint like 10 individuals that already have an interest in any waste initiative, whether they were actually recycling waste and building furniture, or whether they were recycling waste and selling it. However, in some communities you might find that we don't find that amount of community members, so we just end up training people, also informing them and educating them about how they can actually make money from waste. And besides that, how waste is actually degrading and how it's endangering the environment that they actually live in.
Kade siqala senza ama-clean up kuqala. Senza ama-clean up around the community. And then from there sibonile ukuthi no asikwazi ukuthi senza ama-clean up kuphela. Sidinga ukuthi lento siyenze ibe full time. Nathi sigain sikwazi nanokuthi sithole imali.
Through the organizations we were working with at Conroad, they told us that they also working with the community here at Mountain Rise. So we were like, let's come and check it out and see what they're doing. And then maybe we can also include them in the Recycling Hub initiative. When we got here, we couldn't find space where we could actually build the hub. The only thing that was here was this container. Obviously, when we came here, the hub was just plain, right? And then we thought aesthetically it would look nice if we could paint something and also just add the logos of our organization as well as our funders. We thought about getting in Sir Lincoln. He's the guy that we're working with in terms of the art project that we want to do, the Waste to Art project. Maybe make this thing look nice, you know, make it look aesthetically appeasing.
I work with different mediums, specifically discarded materials, recyclable materials. I partnered with YMAD. The whole idea is to turn waste into art, teach the community and uplift them, not only with just selling recyclables, but also creating arts to make a living out of whatever they do. Here also, it's the work that I did just to depict what they do so that it can be seen that it's a recyclable hub.
Most of our hubs are actually created in areas which were turned from illegal dumping sites into recycling hubs. Basically, a lot of the households used to illegally dump their rubble waste, their organic waste, any type of waste. If somebody happened that they've missed the waste collection truck on a certain day, they basically conveniently just walk here and dump. I don't know if you can see that structure there. That's the Darville Wastewater Treatment Works, and right in between where I'm standing and that structure, there's actually a very active wetland, which is actually forming part of the tributary that forms into Umsunduzi River. And if you all know, Umsunduzi River is the largest tributary to Umgeni River, where we get most of our water supplies between Durban, Upper Midlands. And so with the river now being polluted, as much as people can say now, this is a small area being polluted, but this small area has so much impact on the amount of pollution that gets driven into Umgeni River, where we get most of our water from. Where I'm standing, there's actually a bit of a smell and there's a lot of flies. What we're trying to do through these recycling hubs is to try to prevent that. All recyclers, waste pickers, basically when they recycle, they make sure that their waste is not left outside, because when it's left like this, not does it only produce these flies and the smell, but it also produces airborne disease. So instead of taking this and separating it in this form, we are basically saying, don't do it anymore, but instead, come here, come and separate right here, where we don't have to have a lot of flies. As you can see here, there's so much flies. But then if you have a structure like this, it covers all of this and it makes sure that whatever waste that you have, whatever waste that you recycle, as soon as you clean it, there's no rainwater that will affect it. There's no flies that might affect your neighbors or any other neighboring structures near you. So basically, that's why we're creating this recycling hub. And most importantly, we all know that in our residential areas, there's a lot of illegal dumping sites. However, the only way we can get rid of that without having to create another landfill is just basically having a recycling hub in place. We have 3 different phases. The first phase, obviously, is establishing the team, getting the recycling hub built, giving them PPE, proper tools also, because obviously they'll need things like rakes, wheelbarrows, brooms, all of that. With this next phase, we don't want to just make them think about recycling. Recycling is just the tip of waste management. There's also reuse. There's also reduction of waste. So that's exactly what we're aiming for. Through the waste to art, that's them knowing that whatever waste that they find here that they can't recycle, they can always turn it into an art piece and sell that to hotels. That's why we're working with artists such as Sir Lincoln, because we want to teach the community members that, guys, do not look at waste as just trash. Waste is actually money, and people make so much money from it.
Siyabonga kakhulu ku YMAD ukuthola le opportunity yokuthi sikwazi ukuthi sivulele lithuba ukuthi sikwazi ukuthi sisebenze. Akuthina sonke sokwazi ukuthi siyoqashwa kwaMlungu sisebenze sisebenzele abelungu. Nathi sabantu besifazane kumele siyimele sikwazi ukuthi sisebenzele, singabheki ukuthi njalo fanele siqashwe noma senzelwe into omunye umuntu. Fanele sikwazi ukuyimela, sisukume, sisebenzise izandla zethu, sanikezwe ingqondo, sanikezwe izandla, kufanele sikusebenzise ukuze sikwazi ukuphila.
YMAD has helped us with tools, with all the facilities we need to work. They have also built us a structure, this one of which we're utilizing now as our space where we can keep our waste so it doesn't get exposure to harsh weather conditions like sun, rain.
What we're trying to do is to empower some of the people who are here, because some of them are unemployed, right? So our thing is to at least maybe give them something where they can empower themselves and maybe start generating some money while cleaning the community.
Some children don't have like money to carry at school or to buy lunch. So if they can adopt this culture of recycling, they can recycle. There are a lot of materials that are recyclable. The paper, for example, can be recycled. So in that way, they can come and sell the paper to us, then they can have something to buy, something to eat the following day.
Our aim is for them to actually become a proper organization and then push this thing as like a proper business, and then be able to also access funding for their business basically. And then that way they know that they don't have to depend on looking for employment.
ngawo lo msebenzi ngitshela ndaqale ndayenza bese ndibona ukuthi kanti 10,000 abantu ngawuthenga ulungile.
We want to empower previously disadvantaged communities, giving them their dignity, making them feel like people in society, making them feel like they can have a meaningful contribution to society and their families.
Mina ngimntwana ongena muntu, ongenamzali, ongenamuntu. Isingile nje mangikhaya ngisuka kumakoti. Bengikwazi ukuthi ma ngiye ekhaya ngikwazi ukuthenga edrobheni izinto engazithi bazofika ekhaya bajabule, iy'ngane zikabhobhami zidle. Ngingaba nomntwana usekhulile esemdala true ngemali yakawani.
So we're going to be there helping them, assisting them, acknowledging them, and also educating them about the legislations that they need to know about the requirements they need to comply to when it comes to waste management. So we want to grow with them eventually to a point that they outgrow the space, and the space can be occupied by the next group of individuals that are into waste management also. The main thing here is trying to change a behavioral change that is more conscious to being environmental friendly, that is more conscious to still assisting the community but still taking care of the environment. We all know what everyone says, that if you take care of the environment, it will take care of you. And we've lost that value as humans right now. It's like we just expect the environment to give and give and give, and we're not giving back. And that's the main thing we want to teach into these Black communities, especially, that they must learn, because this is not how we grew up as Black people. Actually, our ancestors, they took care of the environment. So we want to bring back that indigenous knowledge and make it modern and make it practical in this day and age, where the youth of this day and age can relate to it.